and some of this may just be comfort, right? Like I think the fit with Fred has been kind of weird, right? Because there are moments where I'll see Fred kind of wave him off, right? Where it's like, no, I got this, right? Like even a possession like last night, like I saw Jalen on the wing just calling for the ball, like his hand out like this, right? And Fred kind of just waved him off to take a snap back mid range jumper, right? And it clanked, right? Obviously, but like it's one of those things where I wonder if you can find a way to put Jalen in games where he can play more two-man game with Alperen Sengun. I think their chemistry can be pretty good. I really do. I think their games, I've always said this about the two. I think their games complement each other perfectly. I don't think there's any reason why they can't work together. I think this idea that it has to be one or the other is stupid. I think fans that I talk about it this way are dumb, right? I think I think these guys should get more reps together by themselves without Fred in the game, right? I think there has to be some maneuvering there by Ime. Like perhaps we can talk about this in a second. Perhaps you do a lineup change to get that desired effect, right? To get Şengün and Green playing two-man game together. Maybe that's the way to go, right? I think I'd rather that's probably where I would feel more comfortable going to before I do something as drastic as just trading the guy outright. I'd do a lineup change first, right? Maybe minimize Şengün's role, or maybe you know we'll talk about this. Maybe have him come off the bench for the time being, and then you have a way to still get him a ton of minutes, still get him a ton of reps, but get him more optimal reps, with better opportunities to be that pick and roll ball handler, and learn the game a little bit alongside Şengün.
Yeah, and I think with Jalen, I think his kind of two man game often works. We see a lot of those dump offs he'll have with Shengun when they're kind of snaking, in and out of each other. And Alperen is such a smart player; he can kind of run two man game. I think with really anyone, and we could see that. I think more of a stagger between Jalen and Fred gets Jalen some more primary creative reps. When Van Vliet sitting, yeah, I mean it's hasn't been a perfect fit, and I think for Jalen again, he's going from having a lion's share of possessions, especially
And
early in games, to being
and,
1 of 5.
and if I could, like, they did do some of that staggering, but the problem is they staggered without having Şengün in, right?
Right.
They had him out there with no good pick and roll big. Like it was like Jeff Green was like his best pick and roll big, right? And like I love Jeff Green. Jeff Green's not going to be on the roster with Jalen long term, right? It's just not helpful for them to gain chemistry like together like that. I think it's more helpful. Not only like is Şengün just a much smarter player, right? In how he sets screens, how he makes
Mhm.
passes. Um, he is just gonna be here, right? Whereas Green probably isn't, right? So like I think if doing that again might not be the worst idea. Just doing that, like staggering those two, and just have Şengün out there instead. Like instead of whoever was out there before, right? I think that would be a smarter way to go about this. But sorry, I didn't mean to cut you up. I like the idea of even trying that first before you do something like benching him.